Hey everybody. The other day I was walking in the neighborhood just by my church here and was walking by a park and I heard a mom yell to their kid in the playground for them to come. It was time to go home, and it reminded me of an illustration that a friend of mine and I had talked about, a number of years ago. In fact, I probably have said this illustration before on how just like a parent will know the voice of their children and vice versa, how a child will know the voice of their parent, we are to know the voice of God. And that happens through spending time with Him. That the more we spend time with God, the more we become aware and knowledgeable about His voice, that we could hear His voice. And imagine you're standing in a busy airport or a crowded shopping mall, and there's dozens, hundreds perhaps, of conversations all happening around you, and most of them begin to very much blend together into just this background noise. But then somebody calls your name, and instantly your attention shifts because you recognize the voice. And that's how relationships work. The more familiar we become with someone, the more easily we're able to recognize their voice. And in John 10:27, it says, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." And I want us to notice the order of these words. Jesus doesn't say that his sheep follow him first, and then he gets to know them. But instead, he says, I know them. Our relationship with Jesus begins because he knows us, and he wants a relationship with us. He knows us completely, and he loves us fully. And then out of that relationship, we then are given this invitation to learn more about him, to experience his voice. And in that growing of the relationship, we then choose to follow him. But the challenge is that our world is full of competing voices. Some voices tell us that our worth depends on what we can do and our achievements, and others are going to tell us to chase success or popularity or even comfort above everything else. There may even be voices that tell us that we're going to amount to nothing or will belittle us, sorry. Fear even has a voice. Anxiety has a voice. Temptations in our lives, they have voices. Even our doubts can become so loud that they're hard to ignore. So how then do we recognize Jesus' voice, the shepherd's voice? I've already given it away. Just like any relationship, hearing his voice and being able to distinguish and listen to it comes through spending time with him. We hear his voice as we read scripture, as we speak with him in prayer, as we worship, listen, and spend time in his presence. The more we walk with Jesus, the more familiar we will be of his voice, the more familiar his voice will become. And this is encouraging because following Jesus is not always about hearing him even perfectly every time, but it's just continually making that effort of turning towards him and trusting that he is leading us with love and wisdom. And that even when we make the mistake and maybe we're not hearing him that well, that Jesus still knows us, loves us, and will repeatedly call out to us. So today I want us to just take a moment and ask ourselves, what voices are shaping our lives and our heart today? And then intentionally find time to listen to God. Intentionally spend time listening to the one who knows us better than anybody else and who loves us more than we could ever imagine. That his voice will always lead us towards truth and peace and hope and a full life. Let's give thanks to the Lord that he wants us to know his voice. God bless.